And joining us live in the studio to speak more on these reactions is the social mobilization specialist at Action Age, Newton Oshemai. It's good to have you on the news.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. Yours.
Well, civil societies are staging a protest, and one of their demands is this mandatory electronic transmission of election results. Now, I would like to ask, what does this mean for the credibility of our elections? Does it reaffirm, the credibility of elections, or is just, just mere demands for the sake of it?
No, really, I think you would like to know some of the characteristics of a credible election. Key is transparency. Once elections and results and votes that are put in the ballots are not transparent enough in terms of reporting them or counting and also announcing the result at the end of the day, once there's no transparency around them, it casts a lot of doubt in the mind of the people who have voted, and that might create a lot of, like what is going on in Nigeria, and we have voter apathy. Voter apathy is actually created by people not believing in the system anymore. There's no public trust anymore. And the only way you can ensure and sustain public trust in what you are doing is actually to be transparent. And we believe strongly that the mandatory e-transmission of election result, to a large extent, will be transparent enough to convince citizens that there is transparent electoral process in Nigeria to enable them to continue to vote.
If I understand you correctly, the major drive is about trust and transparency.
Absolutely.
That is why there's this push for the mandatory electronic transmission of results. But are you considering the fact that there's this argument that we don't have that infrastructure, maybe communication infrastructure is not built enough yet to encourage that step? It's not like it's totally ruled out. There's still the manual transmission available. But in the case that, that can't happen, then, we move to the electronic transmission. Do you think that is a total rule out?
Well, it's not a total rule out, but I think that people are building that conversation or that argument for some certain reasons, because we have tried this thing and it has worked to some extent. For instance, I'm from Edo State. The last election in Edo State, I was in Edo State, I monitored that election. As at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. of the day, 90% of the results were already in the IRF. So Edo State have local areas where there are no networks, Riverina area where there are no networks, if you want to go by that argument. As at 1 p.m., 90% of those results were already on the RF. So what is the argument about right now? So there are some interests that are just playing out, and we believe strongly as civil society that if you build a trust of people to come and vote, they should be able to come out and vote irrespective of the glitches that you might experience when collecting your result or whatever. So the most important thing is that let's build that confidence in the heart of the people of Nigerians to come out and vote, and also believe that their vote will count.
And what would happen in the case that the National Assembly still goes ahead with the decision to leave it open to INEC, to make the decision whether or not to use electronic transmission or not? What will happen? Will we see still mass action?
There will be mass action. For instance, there might be mass action, but I think that will pose a serious danger for democracy, because people will not believe in the process anymore.
Okay, aside protests, what other mechanisms are you using to reach out
Dialogue,
to lawmakers?
people are dialoguing. For instance, Situation Room and other civil society groups are dialoguing with government right now. Having dialogue with the Senate Committee on Elections. So those conversations are also going on. It's not just about the protest alone.
All right. Thank you so much for your time with us.
Thank you.
On the news. It's a pleasure.
I appreciate it. Thank you.